Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Good day, peace and blessings to all, and welcome to the Mantality 360 podcast. I'm Michael Tolan, and this is
Kevin Lewis. What's up, peoples?
Today is February 23rd, 2018, and this episode's podcast topic is, if you have knowledge of a friend cheating, are you obligated to tell? But first and foremost, I would like to touch on this week's hot topics and current events.
Okay, Mike. Well, since last week we didn't discuss anything concerning Black History Month, I want to ask you this question here, Mike. If Dr. King was alive today, what do you think his message to this generation would be?
Dr. King. So King was pivotal in the 60s. So I don't know. I don't think King would have the same impact today that he did in the 60s. And I just think because we're so disconnected nowadays, even though we have more reason to be connected, and we have more medium that connects us, like the internet and those type things. I mean, we're so connected on that level, but yet still so disconnected, when it comes to issues and things that are impacting our culture. So I think King for his time was great, and in what he did, he organized, he marched, and really led that charge. But I think we've had people today that have tried to organize, and there's been some movements, the Black Lives Matter and things of that nature. But I just don't think it has the same impact. I think people are so concerned about self-interest that we can't truly even come together for a common cause for the top one or two or three things that impact our culture.
Right. Okay, I can see that. Because today, if we were to have a march or a protest or something like that, like they did, which was so impactful then, like nowadays you have people that like, for example, Colin Kaepernick did a silent protest, and you had half the people in the United States after him because they made it all about him and nothing about the reason why he was protesting in the first place. And I think that nowadays people have a platform to make you disengage from what the purpose is. You know what I'm saying? And totally focus on something to keep you over looking to the left when the main focus was over here to the right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I think I kind of agree with you that his platform wouldn't be as strong as it was then as it is today. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Because I don't think now that people will give him the time of day to be able to actually bring up an issue and address the issue and stick with that issue until it's addressed. You know what I'm saying?
And then we just don't have any true leaders, I don't believe, today that truly represent who we are and what's important to us. So, but good topic.
Okay. Well, speaking of men and leadership, my son the other day came home, right? Because we have kids about the same age, and I kept asking him, I'm like, but dude, what's wrong with you? I can tell something was bothering him, right? And so after 30 minutes of me saying, hey, I'm not going to leave you alone until you tell me, you know what I'm saying? And so he tells me that this little girl, because first of all, my plan for my son was not to date until he got to college.
Yeah.
Just have friends. Don't date anybody. Just have friends, right? And so he tells me that this little girl, I guess, broke up with him to date a guy that was a little bit older than he was. And so now the girl wanted to come back to him. And I said, no, first of all, you shouldn't be dating anyway.
Right.
But second of all, definitely don't take this little girl back. You know what I'm saying? Because if she didn't see value in you then, she won't see value in you now. And if you don't value yourself, no one else gonna value you either. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I have a couple thoughts on that. Well, first, what do kids truly know about relationships, right?
Tell you what adults know. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Look. And so, ironically, I got the same. Well, I got a phone call from my 12-year-old's mom, about the same thing, that he was upset about. Well, he was just physically, visually, it was something wrong with him. So she was trying to figure it out, and she took his phone. He didn't want to give it up, and come to find out, this girl had broken up with him, supposedly broken up with him via text message, and
Wasn't the same girl, was it?
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Breaking hearts all week, I guess.
Right, breaking hearts all week on Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's week, but it's the same. More the same is like, you shouldn't have be in any type of relationship anyway with anyone. So I know his mom always tells him he can't have a girlfriend until he's in college, right? Until he's 21 or something. And I feel a little different about that as far as age.
Really? Why is that? Why is that?
Girlfriend. I don't know. I think once he's let's say 16, 17, 18, then I think he should be able to have a girlfriend. There's still certain restrictions that I would make sure we have in place, but I don't see too much harm in that.
Man, I'm trying to protect my son from the evils of the world. You know what I'm saying? So
as soon as they step their foot out the door,
I know,
evils of the world right there. So,
but if I can keep my son's heart protected as long as I can, then that's what I would like to do. But he just hellbound to make sure that he do what he want to do, and because he look good, and all the girls tell him he look good. So Dad, I need like 12 girlfriends. Like, really, dude, you don't need any.
I think if you fortify their minds and their spirit, then that's a level of protection.
Well, yeah, but you keep in mind we're talking about 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yeah,
you know
I mean they're changing, physically and mentally, during that stage. So,
yes.
But I just tell my son, I'm like, look, if it's whatever the reason that this little girl broke up with you, if it's something that you manifested, then you can't be upset about that, But if it's something you didn't choose, more so like you said, or that you had no fault in, more so like you said, then, forget about it. Keep it moving. Yeah, 12 years old, you got a whole lot of time to be worried about relationships. Right. So don't rush it. That's my advice.
All right. Well, that will wrap up our Hot Topics of the Week.
All right. Again, Mantality 360 podcast. This episode's topic is, if you have knowledge of a friend cheating, are you obligated to tell? So, Kevin, this topic, it made me wonder a little bit. Here's a scenario. I do have a story, or maybe two, about a similar situation, but I'll just pose the hypothetical scenario. So let's say you have a close male and female friends. They're a couple, right?
Right.
And you see the lady out somewhere, let's say at a restaurant or anywhere, and she's engaged with another man, right? Like, and when I say engaged, it's like they're hugged up, they're coupled up. They clearly look like they're a couple, So it's something other than just a platonic friendship. What do you do in that situation? Do you feel it's your obligation to report that to your friend, the man, or do you leave that situation alone? Do you stay out of people's business, or do you follow the snitches get stitches?
Boy, you better ask somebody.
So how do you feel about that? I think there's a lot of variables, and it depends on the situation. But I'll let you get your thoughts off about it. And I know there's a few different scenarios I like to throw at you. But
okay. Well, first I just want to say this right here. My gut feeling would be I would say nothing.
Nothing at all.
And this is why. Once I had a situation where a friend came to my house, and basically he was like crying, and just really tore up over how his relationship was with his wife. And so I figured that what I would do is that I would call his wife and say, hey, he just left here. And I just want you to know he really cares about you and yada, yada, the whole nine, trying to build him up, right?
Right.
And some kind of way, when it got back to him, it was like, well, yeah, Kevin told me all these things about me, and it didn't really come across the way that I put it out. And so then I got charged up like I was trying to come on to his girl.
Right.
And so to me, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Never put yourself in that situation again. So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, but even in that situation, if you don't say anything, and then ultimately on the back end, he finds out that maybe you had knowledge of it, she'll be like, well, Kevin saw me, or whatever. And then he's probably feeling a certain kind of way because you didn't say anything to him.
Okay, now check this out. If it were you, God forbid, if it were you, would you want me to tell you?
I probably would. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, but.
Yeah, okay.
But, I don't know. It just kind of plays out. It's pretty interesting. Like, my underlying, there's like an underlying code, that I kind of go by. And, I'm probably just like you. I may not say anything, but maybe I make it known, that I'm aware of the situation.
Right. Now, I would definitely do that also. Yes.
Make sure she sees me or whatever. But I don't know. It's I don't know. That's a difficult one. What do you do? Because, like I said, on one side, and especially, like I said, I think it depends on like the nature of the relationship between you and that person. So if it's like it's your dog, somebody you grew with, you've known for 20, 40 years or whatever, that's like your brother or whatever. Definitely, I think I would say something. I just would. Because I feel my obligation would be to him, not to her. Like, even though her and I and us collectively over some years or whatever may have all become friends, I still think, my loyalty kind of lies with him because of the time that I've known him and, the nature of our relationship.
You know what? I had a male friend, tell me once that, hey, you both are my friend. I'm thinking, what? Like, no, dude, we met first. You know what I'm saying? Because you know me, you ain't know her. You know what I'm saying? So I see that, but I think a lot of times people kind of get that kind of skewed a little bit. So I'm thinking, no, because this is my thing. It has nothing to do with bros before those or anything like that. It just, to me, it's just a friend code. Like we said in previous podcasts, we don't let a lot of people in. And so if I let you in, then I expect for you, just in the small sense, to have my back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like just for us knowing each other, the time that we've known each other, length of time, that you have my best interest when it comes to things that you can control. You know what I'm saying? And I think, though, that, and vice versa. So I would want to know, but I think it totally depends on the person that I'm talking with. And this is why. Because I believe a lot of times people look for information, but then when you receive the information, you don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, if I'm going to give him this information, then why am I giving him this information?
Yeah.
Is it to protect him? Is it to, I mean, like why would I give him information like that?
Yeah.
Would it destroy his marriage? Would it, because that needs to be, because this is what I believe, anything done in the dark will come to the light.
Yeah, ultimately.
So I don't believe that I would have to do anything at all other than acknowledge the fact that I want you to know that I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so maybe the trips over to our house might start to diminish.
Yeah.
Maybe us hanging out as couples might start to diminish.
Yeah. Right.
And so then
that's a good thing. That's a good point. Like, I don't know if I want to necessarily surround myself or be around, that relationship anymore. Like people like that, because it's just negative, a whole bunch of negativity. Like, knowing that, let's say she was stepping out on him, do you continue to hang with them and all that? I personally wouldn't feel comfortable around them, so I probably would just kind of pull away.
Well, according to my wife, birds of a feather flock together. So believe
yeah.
me, if you were creeping, I would never let her know because she'd be like, and you went with him. I'm like, mate, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, so I'm not even sure if I would even tell my wife if I saw her creeping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, but Kevin, in that same scenario, I know some guys that would be like, if they saw your lady out with the dude in that situation, they would probably approach the dude, and it would probably be a problem.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Really?
That's very extreme, but I do know a couple people like that. So not that it's right, but they probably would put hands on the dude just off the strength of you.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well,
It's
show you
definitely
right
wrong
then.
to
Show
do,
you right.
but,
Oh yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. Right, my bad.
You know, but here's another situation, another scenario. I actually knew this guy who ultimately, and we had a group of friends that all knew the guy. He was more like an acquaintance or associate of ours, and I say that loosely because he was a dirty dude. You know, he was the type of guy that would, you know, tell females that you were involved with that maybe you were, you know, talking to some other female, whatever. He would put anything out there just to kind of try to advance his position, with these girls. Mm-hmm. All the while, he has a female, right? A girl that he's involved with, and ultimately that he was married to. But, yeah, so he would do that, but, on the flip side, his wife was messing around with everybody. So, me personally, I didn't feel it was my position to even inform him of that, but I knew about it because of the type of person that he was.
Dude didn't say she messed around with one person. She said he messed around with everybody. Okay.
Yeah. She was for everybody, as they say. Yeah.
Wow.
So in that situation, based off of his character and type of person that he was, I just felt, all right, he's getting what he deserves because he's a snake. So. Yeah, I just didn't say anything, and probably a few of my friends didn't say anything either.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I know when I was in the military, we had this guy, and I'm not going to say, where he's from because it might. Anyway, he's from Florida, and his wife was like all over the place, dude. Like, I mean, like all over the place. And I know he would always ask me questions like, hey, man, you see my wife, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, dude, I just saw your wife with old boy and old boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but I didn't feel like it was my place to tell him because dude was crazy.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He might have done something.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm not finna tell you because I'm not gonna tell you how she is because you gotta know that this just ain't something she started to do overnight. You have to see these characteristics in your own spouse anyway.
Right.
I think anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because one day, Ty and I was having this same conversation. He said he had a friend. He said, man, Kevin, ain't nothing in the world would make me tell him if I saw his wife cheating, because he was crazy.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah. So again, to me, it just comes down to who the friend is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If somebody I thought was really close, I would really have to pray about it. I really would have to pray about it and give peace and just see what God wanted me to do. Even though he clearly tells us, when something is wrong, then you speak about it. And if something is right, then, you speak about it. So,
do you think more so guys kind of hold it or hold on to it, whereas females or women are quick to like tell their girlfriend? Like,
oh, no doubt, don't you? I mean, I'm holding that till I die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I ain't got to tell you, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Because usually I believe something's going to happen where you're going to find out anyway.
Right.
No, I mean, right?
Right. I think so. I think it'll ultimately come out.
One would hope anyway, because most time, like either the female end up pregnant or she ended up leaving the boyfriend, especially when she see that you saw her with the dude anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, uh-oh.
Or ultimately the other female catches feelings and that's a whole issue. Mm-hmm. Somebody show up at somebody's house.
Whoa. We're not getting personal, Mike. We're not getting personal.
Nah,
you know what
I'm just saying. I've seen those type things happen.
But I've had someone find out that I knew and got mad at me And I'm thinking, dude, that's not my place to say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't really feel like it was. And I've had that both ways, you know, for the female to charge me. I'm like, you know, and I didn't tell her, hey, man, look, I know you through him.
Yeah.
They ain't like we friends. I mean, we only friends because you with my boy.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna rat on him because then he might be trying to rat on me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back then.
Right,
you know
back then, right?
But now, you know, I don't know, because now it's like the people I hang out with now and I associate with now, I wouldn't really expect their behavior to be that way. If they were.
Right, that's a good point.
Yeah, you know, if they were, I don't know. I mean, it would kind of take me by surprise, and I just let the person know that I'm very disappointed in them, you know, and I just let them know, hey, man, you have to do something, because I don't want to walk around with this like it's my burden to carry, because it's
Right.
not, and it shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you shouldn't put your friends in that position anyway.
Well,
Awesome.
now, because you know, back in the day,
Yeah,
you always
back-
had
of
that
course
friend.
back
Hey,
then.
man, tell my girl I'm hanging out with you. and blah, blah,
Exactly,
blah.
yeah. Like, hey, I'm hanging with such and such. We going to hoop or we going to shoot ball or whatever.
I'm like, man, you know I don't shoot ball on no Sundays. Come on now, don't put me in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because all it takes is one time for your girl to call my girl and say, hey, yeah, I know they were hanging out, because she going to tell you, man, we ain't seen him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't come up for our barbecue. We wondered why y'all didn't show up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
What are the other scenarios around that? Like I said, I think more so when it's women, they're probably very quick to say something. They probably gonna snap photos of you, put you on online, Facebook.
Put you on Facebook.
Online. No, they gonna go live and then approach you, right?
because I don't want to be no questions about what I'm saying right now. You are Michael Jenkins, right? You know what I'm saying?
This is a full-on interview.
And this your sister? No, but I think the huge difference between males and females is that most females don't have a filter. Like whatever it is, they just give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be to their detriment, to your detriment. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just trying to help you out. Blah 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 blah. Whereas the guys, I think we have to sit back and analyze the situation and what this information is going to do to this person, that person, and so forth. You know.
How about this? This is a real deal situation right here. Like, if your friends, let's say your close guy friend, his female approaches you in that way, like tries to hit on you or something, what do? Do you tell him, or do you just not say anything? You check her and just not say anything?
Well, I know what I would say, Mike, but since it's a real deal for you go ahead and tell us what the situation is.
No, I'm just saying I've been in that situation before. And I don't know. You just like, for me, it was just like, nah, we can't go like that. And it was pretty much just a check, like straight off. And but I didn't say anything to him about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think if she approached you, she approached some other dude later down the line?
I mean, that's possible. Yeah, probably.
This is one thing. Okay, now I can't really speak on that situation. I would just hope that I would be the friend that said, and just kind of put her in check and say, hey, that's my boy, and
right.
and that ain't cool that you did that, and and I hope we can squash it, but this can't be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then I would also say this. I remember once I was dating a young lady long time ago. And I remember how I presented her to my friends. Like she was just another side piece
Just
or whatever.
random,
Just a random female. And I know he had feelings for her because he liked her. I just never knew it. And so it made me go back and analyze how I presented her to him. Because I'm thinking, well, if I like she was a nobody and he wanted her to be a somebody,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Then maybe I should watch how I present her around my
that's
friends.
true.
You know
I mean, if you
So-
felt more for her than just some random jump off, then
Yeah,
you should
right,
present
right,
it as such.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop, the wolves from either way, however you present it, there's wolves out there, man.
Right. No doubt. And he was.
Yeah.
It came out that he was because he was at that dirty friend. You know what I'm saying? Always at my house,
Right.
always at my house, but always had something negative to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I thought he was seeing old girl and this girl and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, really? Like I bring you into the camp and that's how you can't keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, you got to go. But
So how do you think women handle that situation where, you know, if their girlfriend, their close girlfriend, her dude approaches them, how do you think most women handle that? Do they run and tell their girlfriend?
Well, I don't know, but okay, real talk. I think you have 50% of women that's gonna break out the Vaseline, start putting it up under the eyes and everything. Now take the earrings out,
You ready to fight?
and you know what I'm saying with that. Yeah, no doubt. But then I think you had the other 50% that's probably in your circle because they're jealous of you anyway. And so I truly believe this loose lips sink ships. Because if you don't want your friends to know what's going on,
Oh yeah,
don't
be
tell
telling
them.
all your business.
Don't tell them because my wife has friends that has told her stories like this. You know, oh, well, she messing with me. Yeah, but you try to tell me, and I tell you I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's, hey, keep your mess in your bedroom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that other 50% want to see what you got, want to see what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just, I think it's different, probably 50-50.
Probably 50-50.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. But just like I believe it's 50-50 for dogs, for guys.
Yeah, I have had that situation too where a girl I was seeing was telling, and this was my next door neighbor, and she was married. So the girl I was seeing was telling her about.
Oh, girl next door? Oh, girl right there?
No.
Oh,
This was when I was like 20.
Like, what?
It's like when I was 20 or something.
I'm like,
But-
put my camera up here. Then.
No. But she was telling, the neighbor, about our business, and of course the neighbor approached me, and the neighbor was married. Like, hey, what if I asked you, to sleep with me? What would you say? And I'm like, I would say no. And she couldn't stand me from that point
Oh,
on.
you serious? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I guess she just wasn't used to guys turning her down. But I don't know. It was crazy. But, yeah, man, that's...
Okay, Mike, well, I have a question for you then. Real story. I had a female who I knew just kind of like was just the truth was not in her. Did not want to tell the truth, save her life, right? And she was going out with one of my friends.
Right.
And so she approached me and came like this right here. Okay, well, if you don't go out with me or we don't do whatever, then I'm going to tell him that you hit on me. Right?
Wow.
So I'm like, what? Like, anyway.
Wow.
So I just left my house and I made the bed. No, I'm just kidding. No, but nothing happened. But it just put me in a bad place because I'm thinking, damn. So like, what do you do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I tell him or do I, Because I don't know. Because I just think this right here though. I just think that you have to really know where the guy's head is to approach it anyway. Because you and I are really good friends, but I kid you not, I would still have to be hesitant before I say anything to you, anything to Ty, anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm thinking, no, I really don't know what I would do because people are trifling, dude.
Yeah.
There's trifling people out there. So like for people to sit around and think, oh man, this stuff won't happen. No, this situation
This
is
is
actually
real life
happening.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're like, dude, like who thinks like this? Like who's that conniving?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And better yet, what makes you think it's okay to come at me like that anyway? Well, that's not who I am as a person, as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't know. I think, in that case, nowadays, because I'm sure that happened some years ago, right? But nowadays, I think we got
Yes, babe, happened a long time ago.
technology on our side. So you almost have to, not per se set them up, but, you just have to record, a conversation or something. Like, right. Because not that you get on their level, but, you got to do that to protect yourself. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just record a conversation or screenshot some text messages or whatever you have to do. But, if that person is that conniving, that low down, then yeah, you have to address it like that, I think. So what did you do in the situation?
Well, actually, I didn't. I just kind of let it
You just let it
play out, and just
You
see if she
called
could
it. You
actually
called
say
it
something.
bluff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I wasn't sure if she said something to him. I just know he never said anything to me, But
Yeah,
again,
because if you approach a dude like, hey, your girl, said this, if I didn't sleep with her or get involved with her, that she was going to tell you that. I don't know how guys would even look at you like.
I did. But I said, but truth be told, like, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't even tell the guy that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, I just keep it simple. Like, dude, your girl trifling,
right,
and just leave it at that.
He's
Dude,
like, what
your
you
girl
mean?
trifling.
What do you mean?
I said, you need to go talk to her about that one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm almost sure that this ain't the first time you didn't get a glimpse of her being trifling.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And so to me, for you to come at me knowing that I'm close to your friend, I don't know, dude. That just speaks volumes to me about people, man, when you do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I probably would guess that probably happens more so the opposite way around, like with guys that, well, not that they say, hey, I'm going to tell, your girl this, but probably more so guys approach other guys' girls or whatever. Probably more so, I'm guessing.
Why do you think that is, though, dude?
I don't know. I don't know. Why do you think?
I don't know. One thing I do believe, though, Mike, I believe that's why we have to choose our friends carefully, because not everybody that laughs in your face is your friend. Not everybody who runs in your same circle has your best intentions at heart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, having said that, I believe that, let's say that your wife is, a dime, and because one thing.
Check. She would be a diamond.
Wow.
Diamond.
Okay. Well,
anybody can get a dime. Anybody can't get a dime.
You know what? This no joke. Real talk right here. Real talk right here. I used to tell my wife all the time, you know what? I was always looking for a dime. I was. Everybody I dated looking for a dime. But I wasn't happy until I found the one.
That's that diamond. Because think about how diamonds are formed.
Dude, don't add to my line. You know what I'm talking about? That's me right there. You know what I'm saying? She trying to add to my stuff. That's been copywritten already, man.
All right.
But just when I found the one, it completed me. So I'm like, I need 10. I just need the one.
Just the one.
Just the one.
All right, I like that. I like that.
With no ad lib added. But
the situation you were talking about.
Yeah, but okay. And so what I meant by all that was just to say this right here. I'm not sure if it's just the guys. We want to always try to conquer something else, even though that we know, like David and Bathsheba. Like he knew he shouldn't have. He had no business trying to mess with one of his generals or whatever he was, his wife. But he still he saw what he
He went out the war.
Right, sent him out the war and had him killed. So my point of just saying that is, we're always trying to conquer that next best thing that we see with our own eyes, and not be led by really what's in our heart and what's in our guts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I think men are more apt to probably try to backdoor you than a woman would be. I would think. I don't know.
I mean, it ultimately probably comes down to lust most
Yeah.
times, because there's truly no mental connection in those situations, because well, maybe the person on a and I don't want to use the word intimate level, but I think you know what I mean. You know the person a little more than the average person would, because you've spent time around them. You probably heard some insight from their spouse, their husband or whatever, about them and what they like, what they do, their problems, so forth and so on. So maybe you feel you have some type of connection in that way. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing, I guess.
But you know what, though? This is what I think, too, Mike. I think, though, that maybe us being older, like, I've never been one to have, like, just a ton of friends, right? I kind of, like, pick and choose or pick, whatever. But I think a lot of people just want to be around people. So, therefore, everyone who likes what I like, everyone who thinks like I think, are my friend. You know what I'm saying? And so we automatically assume, like I see this with my son. He's only 13. He think he has all these friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and so I think if you don't learn how to decipher, how to how to look, how to observe, how to show people that and knows who people are, then you always kind of be in that circle, think you have all these friends, and so therefore you have people always trying to backdoor you. You have people trying to get what you have already got or whatever, or something along those lines. I just believe that people don't pick friends the same way like they used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Which makes it a lot easier for somebody to try to backdoor me because they're not really my friend in the first place.
They're not. Yeah, that's true. All right, Kevin, looks like our phone lines are blowing up. I think this may be a good opportunity to take some calls.
Oh, snap. Phone lines are blowing up.
Just to get their perspective. And it looks like the first caller we have is Kelvin from Arlington, Texas. We're going to let Kelvin weigh in on our podcast topic.
So repeat the question one more time.
So if you knew that your friend's girl was cheating on him, would you let him know?
Yes, I would let my friend know if I knew that his girl was cheating on him, because I would expect the same thing from my friend. And I think it's more of a checks and balances. Just like if your kid's doing something wrong, you want to know about it so you can take corrective action and talk to them about the issue. And it would be the same thing with my spouse. If she was cheating, of course I'm going to talk to him about the corrective action. And if she's not willing to change, then obviously that's not a relationship that I'm going to continue to be in.
But you remember how that one time Ty told us that he said, man, if I were to tell this guy that his wife was cheating on him, I know he would kill her.
Yeah, that's kind of a slippery slope right there too. You don't want your friend to go to jail, but on the other hand, you don't want. I think either way it go, the relationship is gonna sour because your friend might get upset with you for telling him, or he might kill his girl. So what do you do at that moment? I mean,
I don't tell him.
That's kind of one of those things where I would more than likely, I would really have to pray about it and talk to my friend. It's just
right, Kelvin, can you hear me? I think on the back end, if you don't, in that situation, you don't tell him, you have to have that conversation with him to let him know why you didn't tell him, really explain to him, that you were trying to protect him more so than anything, based off of, what you perceived his actions were going to be.
Yeah, because, it could be a situation where he's like, wow, you knew that my spouse was cheating on me, and you never told me. You let me walk around here looking stupid. You let me walk around here believing everything was great, and you knew all the time, and you ain't tell me. And then once you try to explain yourself, us as men, how many of us don't sit there and listen like, oh, you have my best interests at heart? Now, it probably won't work out that way. It's going to be the exact opposite that, you knew, but you didn't tell me.
Yeah, he almost feel like you didn't protect him in that moment because you didn't tell him.
But I think it kind of boils down to this right here, though. This is real talk for me. Like, what's the purpose of of the information? So I believe that every time we give people information, we give them an option to do something with the information. You know what I'm saying? And so if the information we give them is by the spouse, somebody that it means a whole lot to him, very little to you maybe, then what's our purpose with the information? Do we want them to get a divorce? Because it's easy to sit and say, oh, well, we want you to work on the situation. Dude, we're talking about infidelity. You know how hard that is to work out? You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I'm still to this day, I'm not really sure what I would do. I just would like to assume if it was a really close friend, and then I would do something, let them know, hey, you and your husband need to have this conversation because I don't want to have it with your husband. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not my role to have that conversation with your husband. That's your responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
But that was a pretty interesting perspective that Kelvin had. And I think we should start to do a little more of that, get call-ins. And,
no doubt.
Get some different perspectives.
Yeah, because Kev said that, and I just have a hard time viewing that like that, because I just think that you shouldn't, I don't know, I just think when you give people information, you give them information for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as we're boys, I still want you to be happily, married. And because what you do in your household is your household.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm not trying to have any type of impact on your household at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when your household comes to the street,
it's still your household, though. You know what I'm saying?
Still your household?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, maybe you shouldn't bring, what's in your household to the street.
Well, you got a point there. Yeah. You got a point.
All right, Kevin, I think it's time to check the phone lines again. We have a caller online. It's Janie from the Valley. Janie's calling in to address our podcast topic. Hello, Janie. How you doing?
Hey, Mike and Kevin. I'm doing well. How about you all?
We're
blessed.
We're good. So you called in to address our current podcast topic. What are your thoughts?
Well, thank you, first of all, for taking my call. And in my opinion or my belief is I would definitely, if it was my friend, spouse that was committing adultery, or even if it was her committing the adultery, I would definitely let their spouse know. The reason behind that is because I believe in the Lord. I don't believe in the worldly tradition that if you snitch, you get stitches.
Snitches get stitches. Come on now.
Whatever that is. I don't believe in that. I believe, first of all, that God knows everything. He sees everything, knows everything, and hears everything. And if I would pretty much turn my head, and pretend that I didn't know that was taking place, it's almost like I'm condoning their sin. It's like I'm supporting them in their sin. Go ahead.
But what do you think about snitches ended up in ditches?
No, they don't end up in ditches. No, I don't agree with that. I mean, you have to. The bottom line is, if it was my spouse committing adultery, I would want for someone to tell me. The reason behind that is because if my spouse is committing adultery, I don't want, if anything would happen to him, I don't want him to go to hell because he's committing that sin.
But how would you being aware of that change that though? Because you can't change his heart. You can't change her heart.
And you're right, I can't change their heart. But if I just pretend like I don't know that person is committing, adultery, then what am I doing as a Christian?
Then you can't pray for them and try to get them out of that situation. Yeah, I understand.
Correct. I can't possibly get them the help that they need.
Correct.
And I know who is the author of adultery, and that is Satan. I'm not going to allow Satan to continue to interfere in my friend's marriage or relationship.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thank you. That's definitely a different perspective, one that we didn't think of. Thank you for your call. You have a blessed day.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you, Janie. Let's go to the phone lines. Take another caller.
All right.
All right, Kevin. We have another caller on the line. It's LaToy from Philadelphia. She's calling in to address our podcast topic. Hi, LaToy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
We're great.
Great. We're blessed.
Thank you for calling the Mantality 360 podcast.
Sure.
Do you have some thoughts on our topic for today?
I do, and I'm just going to give you my personal opinion and my perspective of the topic. Now, my opinion may not agree with every woman, but I'm sure that there are some that may agree with, what I have to say. So,
okay.
If I was put in a position whereas I knew a girlfriend of mine was cheating and she's married, and the only way I knew is because she disclosed that information to me. I don't feel as though I'm obligated to expose that or to even enlighten her husband on that, because if I feel like what I'm going to say could be a detriment to their marriage, could ruin their marriage, could be something that could break up that marriage, then no, I don't want to be the cause of that.
Okay, then
I don't want to speak that into their marriage.
Okay, then wait.
She's using me as her scapegoat, or as her backup ad, or as her excuse for getting out the house to meet up with whomever she's, having this affair with. Then if it comes down to it and I am asked, then I will not lie.
Okay, so
I have
what
to
is...
say that yes, I am aware. I am knowledgeable of it. blah, blah, blah.
So
But
what?
I don't want to speak anything into that marriage that could possibly or potentially devastate the outcome of it.
So what happens if she does not come to tell you? Maybe you're out and about and you're having dinner with your friends or whatever, and you just happen to see her with some other guy. Then what?
Then, is it my business to even ask her at that point what's going on? I may, just to see if she is willing to disclose anything personal that she has going on to me. And at that point, that it's whether or not I want to address it further with her, or whether I just keep it to myself. And so it just depends on the dynamic of it. I don't know if it's just, she could say, hey, we're just friends, we're just having dinner. So I can't say, I can call it maybe a innocent relationship, I guess. But if it's more where she's going to disclose more of what's going on in that relationship to me, then it's up to me whether or not I would disclose anything to her spouse. But me as a woman and as her friend, then I would speak with her, regarding that relationship.
All right, a very, very good perspective. We appreciate you calling in, LaToy, and thanks for supporting the Mantality 360 podcast. And we look forward to talking to you in the future. Make sure you continue to call in.
See, so LaToy takes after me because she realizes that stitches end up in ditches. So I like that. I like that.
Ditches with stitches.
I like that.
All right, thank you again,
Really
LaToy.
good, but I thank you guys for having me as a caller.
All right,
You be
thank
blessed.
you. Bye. All right, Kevin, we have another caller. It's Malik from Oak Cliff, Texas on the line. Hey, Malik, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm pretty good. Y'all doing okay?
Yeah, we're
I'm
good.
blessed, man. We're blessed.
Thank you for calling in and supporting the Mantality 360 podcast. We know you called in to address our podcast topic for today. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I've been torn since you guys put me on hold. I've been torn because I'm sitting there thinking, and one way I'm saying yes, and then the other way I'm saying, well, no. But then at the end, honestly, I think I would tell him, because if I'm a true friend to him, no matter what he's gonna do with that information, I need to give him that information, because I would want him to do the same thing for me, regardless to at the end of the day how it affects their relationship. That's kind of on her and or him at that point. But if I saw that, I mean, I'm obligated to say something as a friend.
So you don't believe that snitches end up in ditches, or what?
Well, I mean,
Are you a snitch, Malik? Are you a snitch?
yeah,
No,
I
it's
guess
just
I would be a snitch in that case. And yeah, call me that, because I would, like I said, if my heart is out, cheating on me, then I would want, and my friend calling themselves my true friends, they care about my heart.
Right.
So if they see that, then they don't want that for me nor my relationship.
Right. It's about protecting your heart. I'm there with you. I agree. If that's your true friend, then, you should always want to protect them, in any way.
I mean, because imagine how your friend is going to feel if he finds out that
you knew.
I mean, because when she go down, she's taking everybody down with her. Because if he ever finds out, first thing she's going to say is, well, Malik knew it.
Right.
He called me. He didn't say nothing. Saying, what does that say about you and his friendship from that point?
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Okay, you have a blessed day, dude.
Thank
You guys do the same thing. God bless you guys doing a good thing, man, with your podcast. Y'all keep up your work.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We've had a few callers call in and offer some interesting perspectives about our podcast topic today. So, that was a really good format. I enjoyed that. So we got to definitely do more of that. Get some real time, middle of the podcast feedback.
Yes.
We'll continue to do that. But again, on today's topic, very interesting conversation. Ultimately, I think for me, it's about, doing right and being right, and, trying to avoid the situation to begin with. But in those scenarios, for me, I think it's pretty subjective. Depends on the nature of my relationship with the person as to how I would address it. But from that, I'll let you go ahead and do a wrap up and close us on out.
Okay. Well, first I just want to say big ups and shout out to all our first-time callers. We enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the ones who couldn't get in today. We will try to get you through the next time. But to wrap this up, I would just say, Mike kind of touched on it already. I guess if we just know better and do better, then we could pretty much keep ourselves out of these situations. And when we can't, we just have to use our better judgment and just seek God for guidance. Like one caller said, Janie said that if we are Christians, then our duty is to speak the truth. So, I guess that's just where I stand. Again, is that I would just have to really seek God and for guidance, because I just don't feel like that information would be, I don't know. That's one that I have to take to Christ and just let Him lead me. So if you're ever in that situation, just seek Christ first before you open your mouth. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slower even to anger when it comes back the other way. So just seek God, and whatever you do, just do it for Christ. And you all have a blessed day. Thank you very much for your time and your attention, and be blessed.